Hi everybody, it's Stephanie. It's Thursday, February 24th. So, I guess we all know what's happening, or what's been happening, is Russia and Ukraine. It's so sad. But if you're a Ukrainian and you live in Ukraine, then you're probably aware of the tensions that's going on between your country and Russia. Okay, I don't follow the news like I used to like that, and I'm not well versed in deep politics, especially other countries. I don't even follow my own country's policies and all kinds of stuff that entails governments. But I have to say that I feel sorry for the Ukrainians. You see, I have friends on both sides of that fence. I have Russian friends, I have Ukrainian friends. Good people, both sides. But it doesn't mean the leadership of those countries are good. It's easy to side with Ukrainians and blame the Russians. And it's easy to stick up for Ukrainian because who would ever thought that in 2022, especially the Ukrainians, that they're going to be homeless, that there's going to be a chance for them to possibly witness a death in their loved ones and their neighbors and their friends. It's horrible. It's so horrible. Like I said, I don't follow politics to the extent of knowing what's going on in other countries. I know that there have been problems since 2014 and on the outskirts of Ukrainian and Russia, there's been battle going on there, but it's not going to be good. This is going to be bloody and ugly. It's sad to see the children and their parents walking the streets or driving away bumper to bumper for miles. You know, it's horrible. It's just horrible. It's horrible. But anyways, I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers and to those visitors that's just checking out my channel. If you guys find something that resonates with you, please consider to subscribe to my channel. But don't forget to hit that top bell so you get future notifications of all my uploads. We'll be right back. So, anyways, I had a nice day off today and I didn't do nothing but relax. And I can't help it, but my eyes were stuck on YouTube, on those channels that have the news broadcasting this Ukraine and Russia war. It's horrible. It's horrible. Because we're not talking about like a war that's happened This is something that just started really heavy, really heavy. And to me, President Putin is a very decisive person, very calculating, and we're talking about a country that possesses nuclear weapons. Do you think if they didn't have nuclear weapons, we would have gone there, the entire NATO? They would have, yeah. But this is a country who's a superpower like the United States. To deploy 170,000 soldiers into Ukraine, a small country the size of Texas, is beyond me. It's beyond me. So I'm going to try to divert this conversation because it's very sickening. I know I just said that I have friends on both sides of the fence, and I do. And they may be watching my channel, I don't know. But it's clear what should happen and can happen, but we know will not happen. You see, it's difficult to even discuss this because I don't know the extent of the problems that Russia has with the Ukraine. I know that I've heard things about how they want to become part of NATO, and I can understand how Putin does not feel comfortable with this, because if the Ukraine joins NATO, then that means that US can have bases there really close to Russia, and that's a very uncomfortable feeling. But I always think also that being in 2022, there could be other measures taken. Long talks. But you're talking NATO, with all its countries supporting one another and having to open up a base right near Russia. That's like having your enemies in your backyard. And I'm not taking sides for Russia, but if you think about it, didn't we also attack Iraq? When we were attacking Iraq during the second war, the second Gulf War, the first war, supposedly the Iraqis were invading Kuwait. 1990s, right? Early 90s, 94, something like that, or 2001, I don't know. No, early 90s. And the NATO, our allies, were in disagreement with us attacking Iraq, during the second Gulf War, when presumably the terrorists were hiding in caves in Afghanistan and could possibly been started in Iraq. So terrorists from Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, and different Muslim countries banded to attack the U.S. 9/11. But we turned around and we attacked Iraq. What did Iraq have to do with it? Totally nothing. Okay? We claimed that they had anthrax, a little vial, like General Colin Powell said, a little vial that can wipe out an entire city. Well, no weapons of mass destruction was ever found. We attacked Iraq, totally obliterated them. Hundreds of thousands of families were displaced and killed, and children alike. Schools and hospitals were destroyed. And our NATO friends did not like that. Russia never interfered with that. No sanctions were imposed on us. And a lot of us will say that 911 could have been an inside job. It could have been a false flag operation to go into Iraq. But what do I know? I'm just a little old me. I don't like war, whether it's a false flag operation. You know, today in 2024, we're like modernized now. And Russia and the Ukraine are not like a third world country. They're very modernized. I know that Ukraine is the size of Texas, and their military is tiny compared to Russia's. This is just horrible. I keep saying I'm going to get away from this, but I keep seeing more destruction coming up. If there's ever been a time where we could get into a World War III, besides in that Cuba crisis when JFK was around, it's right now. Okay, we have ships out in the Baltic, or the Black Sea. And we have military in Germany, and we have military in Poland assisting Ukraine. All it takes is one shell to be shot accidentally to another country by accident, to be misconstrued as an attack that could cause a World War III. So from what I understand, President Putin was preparing for this for months. So therefore, don't you think he was preparing for this financially too? Because our president has begun sanctions to cut off all trades deal and close off all venues for businesses and close down all bank accounts of all Russian citizens. Citizens. When we attacked Iraq, those sanctions were not imposed on us. Is it because we're also a superpower? But it's interesting how we attacked Iraq and Russia never, ever contested. You know, Iran, China, Russia, and North Korea are allies. North Korea has nukes. China has nukes. Russia is number 2 superpower in the world, and they have nukes. And China is number 3 superpower in the world, and then North Korea. This is just not good. I don't like the taste in my mouth with this. But we always find a way to get involved in this stuff. Our president has said adamantly that we're not going to send our soldiers into the Ukraine to fight. Instead, we're going to try to fortify them with weaponry so they can defend themselves. Okay? But they're still going to be overpowered no matter what. They haven't had any training with U.S. weaponry. This is just horrible. And this is supposed to be like a 90-day campaign by the Russians. 3 months. Do you know what kind of damage and life loss in 3 months? It's going to be catastrophic, devastating. Many think that the Ukraine, when they're defeated, they're just going to be reintegrated back into Russia. Okay. President Putin said that we don't want to occupy it. But they will. They will. Okay? When they're done pulverizing the Ukraine and the whole government has collapsed, it will be reintegrated back into Russia. Yes, it will. And many analysts are saying the same thing. Okay? Look for how many weeks and months that Putin denied that they were going to go into the Ukraine. Okay? And they're amassing troops just outside of the Ukraine, on their borders. This is not going to end well. It's not going to end well. There's still hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians in their country, and they're not going nowhere. Their president is handing out weapons, guns, for children and women to go fight. Do you agree with that? If they fire at the Russians, they're going to get killed. It's a slaughter. Many political analysts believe that they should just surrender. They should just throw in the towel. Okay? Even though Russia is the aggressor here. This is going on. This can go on and on and on and on. I can talk about it all I want, and we can discuss and exchange opinions. I don't know. It's just not good. So, to change a course of conversation, I've been doing some trials and experiments with some camera trickery in how to do different things with my camera. Did you know that today's basic phone camera has more power than the cameras that Alfred Hitchcock used? Isn't that amazing? The cameras that they used back in the 40s and 50s were like Flintstone, with the reels and the tapes. Today, with a simple iPhone, you can make tons of movies that look really professional. Sometimes, when I'm out videotaping, I use 2 iPhones. I like to use different angles. When I made my film about when there was a break-in in my home, I actually used 2 camera phones, different angles. And last week, or this week, when I made Silhouette and Nightmares, for the first time, I used my lighting equipment. Yeah, in the bedroom. It was really cool, because that turned night into day, you know. So, I'm thinking about doing another short film, but I think it's going to be a little bit longer than my last one. And unlike my last 2 films I did, this one's going to have dialogue. It's going to have dialogue. It's going to have interaction. And it's not going to be, it's going to be spiritual based, but it's not going to be it's not going to have the darkness of my last one, or evil entities, or images of bad dreams. It's going to be an actual interaction with a being, but that's all I can tell you, because I did say that I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. That's in the works. I'm figuring out some camera magic that I can use in this. And like I said, there's going to be dialogue, so it's going to be a while before I finish it. But anyways, if you guys want to share your opinions on the situation that's going on between Russia and the Ukraine, feel free to give me your version or your side, because I don't follow politics. I don't follow politics. I feel bad that I have friends from both sides of the fence. And although I haven't gotten together with them in a while, one lives in St. Pete, one lives in Sarasota. One is 100% Russian, and the other one is 100% Ukrainian. But they speak the same language. But they may have different views of what's going on. So anyways, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a nice night. And let's pray for the Ukrainians. Guys, that concludes this evening's film.